everyone. Welcome to our virtual session. Thanks for allowing us to be part of your day. I'm Mel and this is Alexis, and we are both certified personal trainers here in the fitness center at BAMC. And this is a great time of the year to be focusing on your health and wellness goals. And the focus of this training session will be to demonstrate 5 key exercises that we have most of our beginning clients start with. Before we get into the exercises, it's important to know why strength training is important. Research shows that after the age of 30, that if you don't incorporate some sort of way to preserve your muscle mass, that you lose 1 to 2% of your muscle mass per year. And just think of that in the aging process. So if you don't do something like strength training or something to challenge your body, simple tasks such as carrying the groceries from your car into your house, or simple thing of just getting out of your chair can become difficult into your 40s, 50s, or 60s if you don't incorporate some sort of way to challenging your body. And strength training is an important way to do that. And now Alexis will go into some more details about what strength training is and why it's an important part of your fitness routine.
Yeah, so strength training is beneficial for many different reasons. One reason is developing strong bones. So the more you stress your bones, increases the bone density. So it makes your bones stronger, reduces the risk of osteoporosis. Another reason increasing strength and doing resistance exercises can help you, like Mel said, doing functional exercises, so getting a cup out of the cupboard. It's going to get a little bit easier as you do those resistance exercises. It also helps you control your weight. So as you do strength training, you're going to build more muscle mass, which burns more calories more effectively and efficiently. So it also boosts your stamina. It increases balance and improves balance, sharpens focus, and manages chronic conditions. So strength training can help reduce those signs and symptoms of chronic conditions such as obesity, diabetes, heart disease, etc. So now Mel will explain the 5 key exercises, and I will demonstrate, and she'll also explain why they are important.
All right. So before we get to the exercises, one thing is that towards the end of the session that we will allow you to be unmuted and to ask any questions, but during this time you are going to be muted. And also with the exercises, these are all meant for healthy and injury-free individuals. So if you're currently dealing with an injury, not all these exercises may be appropriate for you. If you're new to exercise or to a fitness routine, always consult your physician and make sure that you're okay to exercise. And when you're going through these exercises, we actually encourage you to try them at home, practice with us. But if you at any point have any pain with the exercise or it becomes uncomfortable, stop immediately. It may just not be the variation for you, and there's usually many other ways to do some of these exercises. So all these exercises, when done correctly, should be challenging but pain-free. So now to the 5 key exercises. So we incorporate these with most of our new beginning personal training clients. And the first 2, they actually focus on the core. And the core kind of wraps around the trunk here. And the first exercise is actually called the plank. So the plank is an anterior exercise, kind of focusing on the front of the core. And as long as you can get yourself in the correct position, generally it's a safe exercise to perform. So now I'm going to have Alexis actually get into the position. She's going to be on her stomach starting. So the key thing is you want to have your elbows underneath your shoulders, and then you'll be up on your toes. And as you push off from the ground, you are in a tabletop position. And the key thing with this is that you're squeezing your glutes, keeping your tummy tight. You don't want to bring your hips to the sky. You can go ahead and just demonstrate, bring your hips to the sky. So this is incorrect, and generally it just means that you're not strong enough to do the exercise, and that's okay. There's other variations, so go ahead and bring that down. Next, we're going to show a couple regressions. So if you're not strong enough to hold this exercise, the next 2 regressions or other variations could be appropriate for you. So I'll go ahead and have Alexis get back into the plank position. And then she's going to drop down to her knees. And with this, you still want to keep the angle from your hip to your knee, and you're still challenging your core. It's just taking some of the weight off the body to stabilize. And realize with this exercise, it is normal to start shaking. That is a part of this exercise. It's a total body exercise. So it's normal to start shaking. Go ahead and come down. The way I prefer to regress this exercise, we're actually going to elevate it up to a table. And if those that can't get to the floor for whatever reason, they have bad knees, this is another good option. So same idea. She'll actually be in push-up position because this will be a little bit more comfortable, but make sure your table is sturdy. You definitely don't want the table moving away from you. And see how she's still maintaining the tabletop position, glutes are tight, tummy's tight, up on her toes, maintaining the position. All right, now we're gonna move on to the second exercise. So I'm gonna have Alexis actually go to her back. And with this one, she, as you can see, she's on her back, feet are shoulder width, heels are fairly close to her bottom. I want her to drive through the feet, pushing her hips away from the floor, arms at her sides. I want pretty much a tabletop position from her knees all the way to your shoulders. You're kind of coming up on your shoulders. You're squeezing your glutes at the top. The key thing with this exercise is you do not want the back arching. So you see how this is nice and flat? You do not want to go to an overbridge or where your hips are curved the other way. That's not healthy for the back. So I'll go ahead and have her come down. To regress this exercise, as long as you're able to get to the floor, you cannot hold it for a period of more than a few seconds. You can go ahead and just bring the hips up, squeeze the glutes at the top, and then bring it down, and then basically you're just pulsing up and down. All right. Transition to the third exercise. It's a lower body exercise, and this is called a squat. It's one of the most beneficial exercises you can do for your lower body. If you'll be working your quads, your hamstrings, and your glutes all in one single exercise. And if you think about it, you actually incorporate a lot of squats into your daily life without realizing it, thinking every time you sit into a chair or get out of a chair, you're actually doing a squat motion, but you're just usually using your upper body to help. So where we suggest most people to start, just because it can be scary to do this exercise in space at the start, is that we will elevate them to a box. So we'll actually start over here. And so it's good to have a chair that you know won't move. So I wouldn't recommend using an office chair on wheels because you just want to be confident that it will actually not move away from you. So essentially, a squat is like sitting back into a chair. So feet are shoulder width. As you can see with Alexis, she's going to push her hips back and use the chair as much as she needs to. It's key with this one is that you only use it as much as you need to, so you are challenging the legs. Another thing with this is you want to make sure you're keeping the knees strong and see how her knees are not coming in front of her toes. We don't want you pushing forward. You want to be pushing the hips back each time. And maybe this exercise could be a little bit too challenging, the range of motion is, if you have any issues with your knees. And that's where having something a little bit more elevated. We have a pad here, but you can also use a couch cushion or something that's just stable. Just make sure you're not sinking into it. And I'll have her demonstrate on here. As you can see how it will limit the range of motion. So it just takes a few inches, and then it just gives her still the same challenge, but not the full range of motion. And then eventually the goal is to do it in space. So I'll have her demonstrate a couple in space. But just realize there's a process to actually get to this point where it's just, it can be scary at the start to do this through space, to realize you're not going to fall, but the goal is to strengthen those muscles so you don't have that issue. All right, the last two exercises focus on our upper body. So generally with the push and with the pull. So the next exercise is the push-up. So I'll have her actually on the floor again, generally with a traditional push-up. This isn't where most people start, but it's good to get a handle on the form so you know how to regress it and eventually work to this option. So with this one, I'm going to have her get into a push-up plank position, hands underneath the shoulders, up on the toes, and she's going to lower herself to the floor and then bring herself up. So the key thing with this is that you keep your body in a nice straight line and you're pushing through the chest and not leading with your head. And basically I want her to get down to my fist. Let's see if she can do it. That was pretty good. All right. How you can modify this, there's two different ways. Basically, one way is to go down to your knees, so I'll go ahead and have you get in a position again. But generally you see really bad form with this. The key thing is you want to still maintain that angle from your hips to your knees. It takes some of the weight off, but then it's a little bit easier. But everything else is the same other than you're on your knees instead of your toes. The other way we regress this is actually to a table, and this is my favorite way to show this exercise generally, is that she'll be in the same exact push-up position, but what's nice about the elevation, it actually appropriately challenges you. So then she can just drop her chest to the table. And again, you want to use a solid table when you're doing this. But everything else, body's in a nice straight line, glutes are tight, tummy's tight, coming through the full range of motion. And then eventually you get strong enough where you can work towards a lower elevation or even to the floor. All right, last exercise is the row. So it's hard to actually incorporate pulling exercises in our day-to-day lives without using some sort of external weight. We actually are going to use a tool today, but if you don't have this tool, you can grab something off your table. That's something that's weighted, or you can just go through the range of motion. It's still beneficial. But this 1 gallon is actually 8 pounds, and what's nice about it is you can actually dump out half of it, then you have 4 pounds. So you can actually continuously progress with this exercise if 8 pounds is too much at the start. So with the row, the key thing is with form. And so we want to use some sort of help in helping maintain our form. So she's going to be in a bent over position. She's going to use the table. So as you can see, this is called a 3-point row. So her hand is helping with form and her feet are on the ground. She's maintaining a neutral spine, tummy's tight, and she's rowing up, elbow towards the sky. She's getting some movement in her shoulder, but she's not rotating back. So the key thing is we generally see a lot of rotation. You want to keep your chest facing the table and going through the range of motion, and then you'll work the appropriate reps per side on this exercise. So now I'll have Alexis kind of go through how we're going to put this into a workout, and this is where we're going to encourage some participation. So if you're not currently ready to work out, this is a good time to start getting ready.
All right, so in order to put all these 5 exercises together, normally we put them in a circuit, so one after the other, about 10 repetitions each exercise. If it's something like the plank or glute bridge, then we would have it more 30 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds, and then 2 to 3 times around. Today we'll do 2 sets, and then we'll also warm up. So in a warm up, we'll do 20 seconds each exercise. So we'll start off with marching in place, and Mel will demonstrate for us. Just nice and easy, march in place, 20 seconds, and I'll kind of time her here. So we're just warming up our muscles, getting the blood flowing, and this also prevents injury. Good. All right, let's go about high knees. So we're going to go elbows in, or you can do the full arm motion. Good. All right, we'll do about 5 more seconds here. Good, and moving into side-to-side butt kicks. We're getting more range of motion in those legs. You see Mel is kind of moving her arms back, opening up the chest. Nice. All right, and then going into step jacks. So what this is almost a lower impact jumping jack. So if you feel up to it, you can always do a normal jumping jack. This is just a little lower impact option.
You can always regress this one. If you have any shoulder injuries that make this hard to do, you can do it in front as well.
Awesome. Now next we'll do some shoulder rolls. So just rolling those shoulders back. Again, this is opening up the chest, really squeezing the shoulder blades as you come back. Good one if you're sitting in an office all day and your shoulders are in. Nice to open up. Good. How are you feeling, Mel?
Warmed up.
Awesome. All right, let's go into our routine. So again, we're doing this 2 times. We'll get a good workout in. So we'll start with that plank position, 30 seconds. All right, we'll start in 3, 2, 1. Plank position, good. She's got a really nice parallel line with her body. Awesome, looking good. Halfway there. This one can be tricky. If you need to, like Mel mentioned before, move to your knees. Otherwise, keep it up. We got about 7 seconds left. Good, and 2, 1, and rest. Nice job. Let's move on to the next exercise. We'll go into that glute bridge. Heels are close to our bottoms. We'll lift hips up, and we'll start in 2, 1, and hold. So we're really squeezing the glutes, squeeze that hamstring. Nice job. Regular breathing here. Awesome. You got it. Keep holding, keep holding. Nice job. 10 seconds left. Awesome job. Again, if you need to modify this, go ahead and do those pulses. All right, in 2, 1, and rest. Nice job. Awesome. Let's go back to our squats. So if you can, do those free weight or on the chair. If you need a little extra cushion, go ahead and do so. So we'll do 10 squats. Again, driving with the heels, so we'll have 1, good, 2, awesome, 4, good form. Let's do 4 more, 3, 2, last one. Awesome, nice job. All right, so we're going into those push-ups everybody loves. So again, go to either an elevated surface, our knees, or a full-out traditional push-up. All right, and we'll go ahead when you're ready. 1, good. Make sure to exhale as you come up. Nice job. Good. 5. What a champ. Nice. 3. Let's do 2 more. You got it. 1 more. Awesome. All right, let's do our last exercise. Take a moment to breathe. We'll do a row. So those of you who don't have an elevated surface, another option is to either sit on your chair and do a bent over row with a free weight or something in your hands, or just standing, so a bent over row here. We'll have Mel do it with our gallon here when you're ready. 1. Good. And nice, squeeze those shoulder blades as you come back. Good. Let's do 3 more. 2. Last one. Awesome. Way to go. So we have 1 set under our belts. Let's go ahead and do that one more time. So we'll start with the plank position.
We have to do the other arm.
Oh, we'll do the other arm the next set. Or the other arm now. Let's do the other arm now. I suppose that's important to even it out.
So now I'll demonstrate on a chair just for the difference.
Good. So same thing, she's just doing it in a different piece of equipment. Good. And exhale as you pull. Good. All right. Nice job, you guys. Now let's go to the plank. We'll do that one more time. We have a couple extra minutes, so it's always a good excuse to do more, right? All right. Plank position. Good. 30 seconds on. Nice regular breathing here. Very good, very good. We're halfway there. Nice job. Keep it up, keep it up. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Nice job. Let's move to our backs. We'll do that glute bridge hold, or again, you can regress to the pulses. All right, we'll start in 3, 2, 1, and lift those hips. Good. So Mel here is regressing to the pulses. A little less impact. Good. Nice work. Nice work. 10 seconds left. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nice job. All right, let's move back into those squats. Awesome. All right, we'll go ahead when you're ready. Awesome. Driving up with the heels. 4. Good. Good. We've got about 3 more. Awesome. Nice job. All right, we're going back to those push-ups. So Mel's going to do an elevated version. Go ahead, Mel, when you're ready. Good. And again, exhale as you press. Definitely will help you out a little bit. Good. Nice job. Let's do about 2 more. 2 and 1. Very good. Awesome. We're almost there. Going back to our rows here. All right. And we'll go ahead and start. Good. And exhale as you pull. Awesome. Nice work. Keep it going. Keep it going. All right. Awesome. Good job. Let's switch opposite arm here. Last exercise. Very good. Good position. 5. Good. Let's do 5 more here. 2 and 1 more. Awesome. Nice job. All right. So we've done those exercises. Great workout. Our 5 strength exercises. It's also important to cool down. So we have the heart rate really high, as I'm sure Mel knows. It's important to cool down, do some static stretches. So we have a couple static stretches that we'll demonstrate, and then we'll have time for questions.
All right, so a few stretches that you can do. Bring the arm across. This will help stretch out the back of your shoulder. You'll hold each of these 10 to 20 seconds. You'll do per arm. You can go ahead and switch. And then you can reach up high to the sky, bring it down to your upper back, stretching out the tricep. And switch. All right, and then wide legs. So just have you fold over and just kind of go. You don't have to touch the ground, just as long as you feel a stretch in your hamstring. And hold this for a few seconds. And go ahead and roll back up. All right, so now we are going to open it up to some questions.
All right, it
looks like we have one question. I have a question. When you did the plank, and I don't know if you want to get in that position again, sometimes I see people with their hands out, and sometimes I see them with their fists together. Is it one way better than the other? Not with the plank position. So what the question was is that sometimes people see this position done where the hands are out or else the fists are in, it's essentially what you feel most comfortable with. Where you'll see some variations is if the arms are actually, or the elbows are away from the shoulders, which is a more challenging variation. But there's many different ways you can do the plank to make it a little bit more challenging, but generally between having the arms parallel or together in a triangle does not affect the exercise. Any other questions? All right, thanks for joining us today. We'll be here for a few other sessions. We did email out the actual exercises we did today. If you ever need some help in trying to figure them out and just can't figure out the form, we're at the fitness center. You can come to myself or Alexis and we'll help you out in figuring them out. So thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you again in the future.
Thanks.
See ya.